It is Thursday, January 29th, and I just wanted to share a brief minute with Dr. Matt. It's a privilege to be here in this group. We have 66 members of this group, and it's growing, and so it's a pleasure to serve you in this capacity. I thought I would share I call this a minute with Dr. Matt, but I wanted to share an experience I had today with a patient, and then I want to talk just briefly about I put out a quiz that I would love to just open up and expand what it actually means, and I'll read a result that I got from that quiz. But I had a patient today that this patient's experiencing extreme sadness, and sadness that she lost her father, who passed 3 years ago. And her father was a giant in the business world, was a mentor to her, and has helped her establish a successful business and done some really extraordinary things. So with his passing, of course, there's sadness, and that becomes apparent. There's good reasons why that's there. However, it's causing havoc in her nervous system. As we discussed today, the Wheel of Wealth is all about energy. The secret to longevity is about managing energy. And so a wise doctor, Dr. Jerry Tennant, teaches that healing is voltage. And I agree. Maybe many of you have heard me refer to myself as a glorified electrician. And so your body, our bodies are electrical systems, and truly the fascial system that I mentioned before holds the voltage. And so a body, a fascia system that has good voltage heals very, very quickly. In Eastern medicine, we use the term or the phrase that where electricity goes, blood flows. And it can be vice versa. Where blood flows, there is electricity. And so there's a vital component to having voltage in the body. And so back to this lovely patient, she was very, very low energy, was sad and justifiably sad, but that sadness was just causing such a drain on her energy. So when I speak of the Wheel of Wealth, we have 7 spokes in that wheel, and the first thing we look at is looking at where is the leakage? Where are we leaking energy? The truth is that your body, my body, produces a ton of energy, a ton of electricity, and the difference is that many of us are losing energy. And so as quickly as it's being created, it's being lost. And the challenge for most of us is that we don't even know where. We don't know what that spoke or that bucket is even called. And so that's the first, hopefully, contribution that you're seeing in this space, is I have named those wheels, or the spokes in the wheel. So there's 7 spokes on the Wheel of Wealth. The first spoke is physical health, then it's mental and emotional, then it's familial, that's family, then it's social, vocational, that's your purpose, that's what you do, why you do it, that's financial, and then spiritual, your identity, what your identities are. So as I spoke to this patient, we found tremendous leakage, and it was the family spoke, it was identity spoke, which is the spirit spoke, and it was causing physical and mental and emotion depletion as well. So 4 of the 7 spokes were leaking. And so we went into sadness and explored, as maybe some of you have worked with me and recognize the process here, and I recognize many of you have not worked with me, and so don't know the process. And the process isn't as important as what we got to is her nervous system had a belief that was lodged in there, and that old belief was not safe. First it was alone, and as we explored what alone actually meant to her, it actually connected to not safe. And so not safe was inside the nervous system, just like windows and doors left open in an Arizona summer while you're trying to cool the house with AC, that you're expending a ton of energy and not getting the benefit. So not safe was running in her nervous system. You've heard me say this before, perhaps, but I'll say it again, is the unconscious mind does not judge belief patterns, it just validates them. And so when not safe is being validated on a regular basis, sadness was one of the emotions that was there. And the way I've learned to look at emotions, this is because of Eastern medicine and Eastern philosophy, but emotion originates from various organ systems, but it holds in the body. And it is one of the wisdoms of the body. Just like we have pain receptors that tell us if there's a rock in the shoe, we have emotional centers that tell us, they alert us to something that's not balanced. And so again, that's how we got into finding the programmed belief of not safe. So as we unpack that, there's ways to use a breath technique and just release that. She felt this physiological sigh, this calmness come through her body. And then we examined that, not safe, through the lens that it was a false belief, that it wasn't fully true. And we looked at then how did it serve her? Because ultimately there's two principles that are in play. Again, some of you that have worked personally with me know this, and others of you this might be brand new. But frankly, nothing's brand new, right? It's just remembering things we already knew. So the principle is that all things at all times work together for our good is a true principle. And I've been blessed to look at that principle, study that principle through the lens of physiology. So really important principle. All things at all times work together for our good. The second principle is there's balance in all things. And so in the body, we call that balance homeostasis. We see balance in nature, we see balance in the cosmos. There is truly balance in all things. And so the work that you and I are engaged in, the real work, in my humble opinion, is to find the balance. So she was stuck in not safe. She was also experiencing the heaviness of the emotion of sad, which was draining energy. And as we released that from her body and examined that, how has not safe served you? We came across one of the most beautiful, profound truths. And that this experience of not safe, I asked her what she admired about her father, and she mentioned, he's courageous, he's intelligent, he's a great communicator, he's funny, he's got a great sense of humor, he's fair with people, he treats people all the same. And I started asking her, well, do you do that? Are you intelligent? Are you courageous? And the things that she saw and admired in him are all characteristics and attributes that she has. And for the first time in a long time, she recognized those. And she recognized that certainly he has left, his body has left, but these characteristics and traits have been endowed in her. And they live in her. And that brought tears to her eyes. And it wasn't tears of sadness, but tears of joy and gratitude, which changes physiology. And then we brought into the truth one of the greatest gifts. This took a little bit of probing to get to, but I asked her, how has that served you? How has this belief, not safe, how has it served you? And again, it's caused her to be more situationally aware. It's caused her to use her voice when she needs to use her voice. But the greatest gift is that she creates safety for herself and others. And she's a master at it. She creates safety for herself, and she does it effortlessly for others, and happens to have stewardship over many animals and lots of other people's animals, and her ability to keep them and their animals and create safety is effortless. In fact, so effortless, this becomes one of her greatest gifts as she's leaned into it, is she can perceive across the room, or by tone of voice, somebody who's not feeling safe, and her ability to perceive that and address that and bring safety to them is effortless. And it brings her great joy to do that. And not only does it bring her joy, but it brings comfort to others. So as we went through this and discovered the gift, she was able to come into balance with this. And now, not grieving her father for the loss of this safety, grieving the loss of her father, but she never lost the safety factor. And so we're not treating all grief, we're not treating all these things, but treating the body as a whole. So it's body, mind, and spirit. And in this case, we went after the identity, the spirit side of it, and she identified that she is safe. And that changes the mind, that changes the emotion, which then relaxes the body and puts it back into a balanced state. So as we seal up that leakage, her energy goes up and she can feel it. We call this quantum healing. When we can connect body, mind, and spirit and be present in those things, great things happen. Physiology changes dramatically. So that was a cool experience. Again, many of you have experienced that with me. Those that haven't, I would love to walk you through it and share some of the processes that I've learned. And I stand on the shoulders of amazing practitioners and doctors who've shown me the way to do these things. So none of this is my own, but I found within my gifts unique application. Final. I know I said this is a minute with Dr. Matt. Minutes. I should just add plural. We'll spend some minutes together. But I'm going to add this piece. So I had a client person fill out this quiz that I posted in this group. That I've also emailed it out to my patient list here, and so this particular person scored a 32 out of 50. So those that don't know what I'm talking about is there's a 10-question quiz, and the 10 questions are to assess the 7 spokes, and just to give a quick snapshot of where you're at, and we're just loosely identifying where there's leakage, and again, naming the bucket that's leaking is half the battle. Knowing where the leakage is happening is half the battle. Then the sealing it up is the next thing. And if we can safeguard our energy, conserve our energy, this wheel starts to turn for you, and it works in your favor. And healing is voltage. The more energy and voltage we have in our body, the quicker we heal, the more mentally aware and cognizant we are. The body operates well when it has energy. So I'm reading on this my other laptop here. But her score was a 32 out of 50. So in schooling terms, we're talking a low D, right, 60%-ish. But it says your life structure is solid. So here's the how the sausage is made, just for a second, and you can ignore this, or this might be interesting to you. But I made the quiz. I then take those results, and I use an AI format that I've formatted. To help me put the scale of 0 to 50. And so 0 to 10 means something, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, and on. It has significance. So we're just trying to extract a snapshot here. So this is what came out of this, is your life structure is solid. Your relationships are nourishing, familial and social, both scored a 4 out of 5. Your work is aligned with your values and has healthy boundaries. Vocationally, you're a 4. Financial security is excellent at a 5. You have strong sense of meaning and purpose. That's spiritual, so that's a 4. Most people would look at your life and think she's got it together, but your body is telling a different story. Your primary leaks are both physical health scored a 1 and a 3. So on severe, or 1 severe, 1 moderate, you're not waking resting. You're not waking rested. Energy is inconsistent, and your body isn't recovering from daily demands the way it should. Mental and emotional health scored 2 and 1. Your nervous system won't turn off. Mental clarity is low, and true relaxation feels nearly impossible. So here's what I think is happening. You built a life that works on paper, but your nervous system is running old patterns, like stress or trauma that's been held in the body for a long time. The migraines are part of the same pattern. Your body has been trying to get your attention for years, and it's still speaking. The good news is you don't need to fix your relationships, your work, your finances. Those are strong. You need to address what's happening in your body, and that's exactly what this 90-day reset is designed to do. So that would be an example of what the assessment would. I would, if you were to take the assessment, I'll take the score, I'll plug it into my system, and I'll email you a personalized report that gives you a sense of where you're at. And there's zero obligation with it, but what's offered is a free 15-minute phone call where you can share with me what's going on, and whether you're a fit or not to doing the 90-day reset, we can establish what the next steps look like. Because the goal here, the number one goal, is to help you be your best you. And if that means that we go into a 90-day reset program, awesome. I can deliver that at a high level, and we'll be both very, very happy. And if the goal is simply just to identify the bucket, and you turn loose and you read your self-help book, or you connect with your other doctors or people that are in your life, awesome. This is my privilege to serve you. And so I challenge you all to assess where you're at. The quiz is in this group, in the thread here, but looking through physically, mentally, emotionally, and you can rate these on a scale of 1 to 10, where you stand physically, mentally, emotionally, familial, social, vocational, financial, and spiritual. And if you're between a score of 1 and 10, you'll see a bucket that might not be as strong as the other buckets. And we lean into the strengths, and we utilize those for energy, and we seal up the weaknesses. And I'm happy to help. Until next time, It's a minute with Dr. Matt. Aloha.